Hi, everybody, and welcome to Seeking the Sacred Earth. This is Totem Tuesday. Sorry for my absence. I've been battling laryngitis, but I'm back. We had horse, turkey in reverse, and salmon in reverse. So, horse. To steal horses, right, was to steal a tribe's power, was to steal a people's power. So, horse is all about the freedom that true power brings. But what is true power? In today's age, this is a very controversial topic in some ways. In my opinion, and what I've been taught, true power comes from vulnerability, comes from the ability to really connect with your heart, to not lead with the head, to not lead with the will or the ego, but to be able to be still enough, quiet enough to feel your feelings and lead with compassion and with empathy. We then have, we're going to remember that, we then take, the turkey upside down. Turkey, otherwise known as the giveaway eagle, is all about generosity and the kind of blessings that come from truly sharing of yourself and what you have without any expectation in return. When it's reversed, it's saying, are you being stingy? Are you being greedy? Are you being envious of what other people have? Are you being jealous of other people's success? Are you unable to find joy in other people's happiness and joy? And the idea that our true wealth comes from our connection to infinite spirit. It comes from our ability to trust that all our needs are taken care of, so we can give of what we have because we know that our cup is always going to be running over. But when it's reversed, it's saying we've lost track of that. Somehow we're focused on what can we gain, and this idea of giving with some expecting that you're going to be given to in return. And this always leads to disappointment. This always leads to that internal conflict of, oh, I must have because I'm not sure where it's going to come from. That lack then manifests in our outward life. And we also got salmon reversed. Salmon is all about, the inner knowing of I see where I'm going because I see where I've been. And that ability to, having experienced all sorts of challenges or conflicts or problems, but coming out of it going, all right, this was the lesson of it. This is what I was supposed to learn. This was what I was supposed to gain to expand myself, to be a bigger human, to be a better human. When it's in reverse, it's saying, okay, we've lost track of the lesson. We're not seeing where we're to gain from a situation, where we're to gain in wisdom. We're not seeing the lesson. And perhaps some of the lesson is that we've lost touch with our heart center, our empathy, our compassion, our ability to really see how our actions affect others emotionally and spiritually and energetically. It's also saying perhaps we've lost track of what is true and good for us and our lives because we're trying to follow the crowd. It's sort of like where peer pressure comes in, or where we're going to others to say, okay, what do I do in this situation? And then we've lost track of what we know we need to do. When horse leads the reading and we have these two in reverse, it really speaks to what I said at the beginning of the reading, which was true power. You don't have to force on other people. If you're the most powerful person in the room, is never the one who's yelling and shrieking or trying to force something to happen. True power comes from learning through your earth walk, really looking at all challenges, hardships, strife, griefs, or losses as actual gains in your sense of wisdom, in your sense of, and your ability to understand others' plights and others' pain. That's true power. True power is being able to sit in the midst of a storm no matter what is happening and maintain not just peace and serenity, but to maintain an unconditional love for that which is happening and those people that are involved in it. That is actual true freedom, because we can't control other people and what they're going to do. We can't control what's going to happen tomorrow or even today. We just can't. All we can control is how we view the situations in our life and what we do with that wisdom. And that wisdom is meant to make you feel free. That no matter what's going on, it's not going to tap into your joy. It's not going to stop you from being generous and kind. The giveaway eagle, the turkey. So this week, as we're entering into the holiday season, and when you're all at gunpoint, you got to give, you got to give, you got to give. Really see if you can tap in and connect to that place that children have in them that is untouched and pure, which is the spirit of giving truly for giving's sake and not expecting anything in return. Just to see an adult or a friend light up because they're receiving something that seems to have value to them. And also the idea of, again, so often when I'm working with clients and they're asking me about their future or decisions that they want to make, they always know the answer. You know what is right. You know what is right for you and right for the people around you. If we're honest and we connect to how we're feeling, we're really able to feel that. And you will feel discordant if you're operating against it. That's where the stress and the confusion and the overthinking comes in, is when we're walking against that deep sense of integrity that is in our heart. And so you can kind of tell if you're on a path that's not going to lead to your ultimate joy and happiness. It's when you're harboring resentment or revenge or envy or jealousy. Those things hold us back from being open to the flow and the bounty that's here to give us everything we need, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of it. So take some time this week to really get in touch with, what does generosity mean to you? What does power mean to you? And think about if you need to take a couple steps back. So often in our society, to admit, hey, I made a mistake, let me retrack, is considered like failure or inadequacy or ineptitude. But is it? Because if you can acknowledge a mistake that you've made a few steps back, and you go and fix it, redo it, reconfigure it to come back, aren't you in such a better place than if you would have let that mistake just go on and on and on and live itself out? So it's a sort of awakening moment, a little clarion call we're all getting to, if you need to retrack, don't think of that as failure. That's true wisdom. That's inner knowing. To say, hey, let me go back, let me redo this, let me take that back, or I made a mistake saying that. That's not going to work. Let me try something different. Let me take that back. I made a mistake. That's true power. The ability to know when you've made a misstep and to go back and fix it and say, let me do this better. That's serious power and wisdom. And if that's you and that's you in your life, share that wisdom with everyone else. Because there's nothing wrong with going back and redoing and cleaning something up and doing it better. The redo is not a failure. In fact, dare I say, as an actor, I do a take, and if I let it go, I'm going to think about it all night if it wasn't where I needed it to be. So often I'll say, hey, wait, let me redo that. I know I can do it better. It's a part of the creative process. Just like editing a book you're writing, or editing a vlog post, or editing videos, although I'm not quite there yet. Don't know how to do that. I'd rather just talk directly at you. True power is not what we're taught that it is. It's something much deeper. It's something that you feel inside and leads you to be a generous and wise person in your outward show, in your relationships, in your work situations. You can always tell if you're on the right track because you have a piece of serenity, a sense of expansion and warmth. And if you're on the right track, there's tightness and confusion. So don't be afraid to go steps back, to seek out that wisdom, that warmth, that feeling of serenity, because it's there for all of us. Nothing wrong with going backwards, to go forwards in a better way. So thank you so much for viewing, everyone. If you enjoyed this, please, of course, like, subscribe, head to SeekingTheSacredEarth.com, and most important, if you know of someone who would benefit from this message, share it with them. Give this message to them, because that's what this is all about. We help each other on our earth walk, because Lord knows it's not easy, but it's so rewarding. And the more that we share it, the more that we share with each other, the more that we help each other, the more warm it is, despite being challenging. Thanks so much, everyone.